This week, the Crown Prince of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Khaled bin Mohamed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, will be in India on an official visit. In fact, this is the first time that he is coming to India in an official capacity. But since Prime Minister Modi became Prime Minister in 2014, he has visited the United Arab Emirates 7 times, making it the most visited country by the Prime Minister. When he went to the UAE for the first time in August of 2015, Prime Minister Modi made it the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister in 34 years to the Emirates. The last one, in fact, was by Indira Gandhi in 1981. In the last 10 years, India-UAE ties have seen a dramatic rise in engagement, whether it's in trade and commerce, and also in policy and people-to-people ties. More than 60 different bilateral agreements have been signed since Prime Minister Modi assumed power till August of 2023. FDI from the UAE remains the highest, and it covers multiple sectors like telecom, infrastructure, and energy. At present, the United Arab Emirates is the 7th largest investor in India. From April 2000 to December 2022, the UAE has invested over $15 billion in India in different sectors. Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, or ADIA, is the UAE's principal sovereign wealth fund. It is an anchor investor in the National Infrastructure Investment Fund Master Fund through an investment of over $1 billion in the NIIF. ADIA has also invested over $1.8 billion in HDFC affordable housing, $500 million in Greenko and Renew combined, and also $300 million in Cube Highways. ADIA has also opened an office in GIFT City in Gujarat. Now, recent reports indicate that ADIA is setting up a $4 to $5 billion fund inside the GIFT City to invest in India. The GIFT City zone offers a 10-year tax holiday for companies that are setting up inside the premises there, no taxes on the transfer of funds from overseas jurisdictions, and closeness to the Indian markets. Mubadala, which is another UAE sovereign wealth fund, has invested $4 billion so far in India across diverse sectors, including Jio Platforms, Reliance Retail, Tata Power's renewable energy business, and India's largest toll road platform, Cube Highways. Overall, the UAE has committed to invest $75 billion in India's infrastructure sector over a period of time. It's not just that. Indians, in turn, have also invested in the UAE to the tune of $1.6 billion up to the first half of financial year 23-24. Indian expats being one of the major investors in Dubai's real estate sector. The Indian expatriate community in the UAE is 3.5 million strong, and it is undoubtedly the bedrock of India-UAE ties. The remittances by the expats accounted for 18% of the total remittances to India in 2020-2021. Yet another historic achievement between India and the UAE was signed in July of 2023, when the Reserve Bank of India and the Central Bank of UAE for the first time established a local currency settlement system to promote the use of the Indian rupee and the UAE dirham for cross-border transactions. Trade between India and the UAE has grown over 40% since Prime Minister Modi assumed power, from under 60 billion in 2014-15 to over 83 billion in 23-24. In fact, if you look at both exports and imports as a proportion of the trade, both of it have increased substantially in the last 10 years of the Modi government. During Prime Minister Modi's visit to the UAE back in February of this year, both countries signed MOUs for the introduction of India's RuPay card and the Unified Payments Interface, which is the UPI transaction system, which would facilitate seamless payment. In fact, last year, the UAE was invited as a guest country by India when India hosted the G20 summit. During its presidency, the Diaspora Connect is very strong, with the presence of 3.5 million strong Indian diaspora in the UAE, which of course forms a natural link between the two peoples. The contribution of the Indian community towards the development and the progress of UAE has been acknowledged by the leadership of the UAE. And to top up the infrastructure focus, the India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor, IMEC, was signed in September 2023 in New Delhi on the sidelines of the G20 summit by India, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, France, Germany, Italy, the United States, and the European Union. In fact, cultural relations right at the top. Since 2022, Abu Dhabi Sports Council has been celebrating the International Yoga Day in a grand manner to encourage more and more people from the community to make it a part of their daily routine. In 2023, which was the 9th International Yoga Day, it marked the launch of the Abu Dhabi summer sports season with over 1,200 people in attendance. This year, the marquee event of the 10th International Yoga Day was celebrated on the 22nd of June at ADNEC in association with ADSC. In fact, Prime Minister Modi, when he went to the UAE last, back in February of this year, he inaugurated the first Hindu temple in Abu Dhabi, marking a seminal moment in people-to-people ties. This was one of the first non-Islamic places of worship allowed in the Emirates. The inauguration of the Baps Swaminarayan temple, built at a cost of 700 crores, is seen as a key moment for the Hindu community in the UAE. Back in 2015, the then Crown Prince, Sheikh Mohamed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, who's the current ruler of the UAE, had donated 13.5 acres of land for the construction of the first ever temple in the UAE. And then in 2019, he followed that up with another gift of another additional 13.5 acres. The temple represents a religious coexistence which is intrinsic to both the UAE and to India. A Muslim king donating land for a Hindu mandir where the lead architect is a Catholic Christian. The project manager is a Sikh and the foundational designer is a Buddhist. The construction company is a Parsi group and the director comes from a Jain tradition. The UAE has also invested substantially in Kashmir. It's been a strategic investor, managing to get its first foreign investment with Dubai's Emaar Group, which is due to build a $60 million shopping and office complex. In fact, the $60 million development will include a shopping mall, a multi-purpose commercial tower right in the heart of Srinagar. The UAE ambassador to India, Ahmed Al-Banna, shortly after India's move to abrogate Article 370 back in August of 2019, had observed that the move was mainly aimed at reducing regional disparity and improving efficiency. It is an internal matter as stipulated by the Indian Constitution. Thus, the UAE became one of the first and perhaps few Islamic countries to back the decision of the Indian government to abrogate Article 370.